Welcome back. As you heard a few minutes ago, the WestJet strike could ground flights as negotiations between flight attendants and airlines continue, if there is in fact a strike. What to do if you have a ticket for this potential strike or perhaps any other that might be down the line. Gabor Lukacs is a passengers' rights advocate. He is based in Halifax. It's good to see you, Gabor. Look, let's get right to it. The airline, WestJet, is allowing ticket holders to cancel their flights. Is this the best thing to do if you've got a ticket?
It's great to be with you. No, it is not. If you got a WestJet ticket, just sit tight, wait until the airline cancels your flight, and then make sure that they rebook you in accordance with your rights that are legislated. The problem is that if you take up on their offer, then you are constrained by WestJet's goodwill policy, which is not a legislated framework. Once they cancel your flight, all your rights under the air passenger protection regulations, and if you travel internationally, the Montreal Convention, come into force.
So if you cancel the flight, you make that decision to do that, you're on your own. There's no recourse at that point.
It's very much true, unfortunately.
Yeah. What's the biggest mistake passengers with tickets can do?
To listen to WestJet's advice and cancel your flight or make changes at this point, or once your flight is canceled, to take a refund. You should never take a refund for a ticket unless you are absolutely sure you don't want to travel anymore. Because if the airline cancels your flight, they have an obligation to rebook you, including on competitor airlines, if it is not possible for them to transport you on their own or partner airlines within a given amount of time. So by taking a refund, you just absolve them of that obligation, and instead of WestJet paying for an Air Canada ticket at a last-minute price, you end up paying that last-minute price out of your own pocket.
Okay.
And it can be a very significant difference. You may have paid $400 or $500 for a WestJet ticket bought several months ago. If you need to buy an Air Canada ticket now, you're going to pay possibly thousands of dollars.
Right. Okay. So that is a big difference. Look, WestJet, as you know, operates a lot of European flights out of Halifax daily. These are big moneymakers for that airline. You know, I know you're not in the guessing game here, but can they afford to be out on a lengthy strike?
Well, if a flight that operates from Europe to Canada gets canceled while a strike is ongoing, then under the European rules, WestJet will have to pay passengers not just for meals and accommodation, but also for their inconvenience in cash for flights that depart from Europe to Canada. Unfortunately, for flights within Canada or departing from Canada to Europe, there is no such obligation once the strike is ongoing. So certainly, canceling flights to and from Europe would be exceptionally expensive for WestJet. If we had similar rules for domestic flights in Canada, and if Canada had a system of protection for passengers that is comparable to Europe, there would be far more incentive for airlines like WestJet to quickly settle with their employees and avoid strikes.
That's because they have to follow the European Union rules?
Yes, for flights departing from Europe, WestJet has to follow the EU or UK rules. But for flights within Canada or departing from Canada to Europe, only the air passenger protections apply. And for flights to Europe, you will also have the Montreal Convention. But still, that doesn't provide for a cash lump sum compensation just for out-of-pocket expenses.
Well, Gabor, let's hope that people don't have to rely on any of this and things get settled. That's some great advice. Thank you for that, Gabor. Gabor Lukacs in Halifax, passenger rights expert. Certainly glad to have you in our backyard.